You only think that it can't be changed because you've been told that since you were a little hopper crawling around on the floor.
You're telling me if I buy a Quran, from 3 different people, it's still going to be different.
If you buy a Hafs Quran, a Wash Quran, and a Duri Quran, they are going to be different.
They can't be corrupt. Wait, hold on, what?
Peace be with you. Any question?
Were the Hadiths written all at the same time under one sort of supervisor or?
Good question. The Hadiths were not written at the same time. They were not written with any controlling mechanism until around about 200 years after Muhammad, when a science was developed to try and remove fake from true hadiths. But the point is that that science emerged 200 years after Muhammad died, which meant that the damage was already done. Fake hadiths had already largely entered into the corpus of hadith. The corpus hadith were full of lies. And the development of the protections of hadith, would you like to come in and debate?
I wouldn't like being on camera.
Well, I mean, you can debate if you want and stand there.
I'm just trying to listen to what I say.
Right, okay, so the development of the science of hadiths came from the fact, primarily from the Isnad. And Muslims disagree about those Isnad. Shia reject the Isnad of the Sunni, and the Sunni reject the Isnad of the Shia, which tells you that Muslims themselves have no reliability about which Isnads to believe in. And that means since that... Sorry, are you wanting to listen or debate?
No, I'm trying to do both.
Okay, right, well let's debate. What's your point?
Basically, I could technically say the same about Catholics and Protestants.
Right, Bo, that's called non sequitur logic. Let me explain what non sequitur logic is. If I spot a problem in your argument, that doesn't mean that my argument is without problem. So if I have identified a problem in your belief, you saying the same about my belief doesn't get rid of the problem in yours. And before I am willing to change topic, you must defend your belief from what I said. Because I'm not allowing you to change the topic.
I'm not changing no topic.
Muslims don't agree about their isnads. Agreed.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Which means that Muslims themselves cannot say to the world which hadiths are reliable without sectarian division. Right?
Yeah, but that's why I don't pay attention. I pay attention to the Quran.
But all Christians, listen to this, all Christians agree about the same 66 books of the Bible. We dispute between 5 and 7 books, which means that there's greater reliability within Christians about what to believe than amongst Muslims, because you dispute about thousands of hadiths.
But we all believe in the same book.
But you use the hadiths to interpret the Quran, don't you?
No, not all the time.
Yes, you do. I'm guessing you're a Shia.
Yeah.
Right, I thought so. Right. I could tell by the neat beard.
Thank you.
Right? The Shia always look more presentable than the Sunni. Yeah, they do. Honestly. You always spot. You can all, bro. I'm throwing you a compliment,
I know.
right?
I said thank you.
Yeah, the Shias are better groomed than the Sunnis. Yeah, right. But yeah. I'm doing a Christian beard, right? We don't do that much grooming. Anyway, bro. The point I'm making to you is, what's your name?
Ahmed.
Nice to meet you, Ahmed. Nice to meet you. It's first time in the park?
Fifth.
All right. So it's quite an excitable place. Let's try to have a calm conversation.
Yeah.
So my point to you is because the center of hadith the center of Quranic interpretation is the Sunnah, and the Sunnah is drawn from hadith because it's about what Muhammad did, what Muhammad permitted, and what Muhammad said. Right? I'm being fair to your religion. But because Muslim and the heart of what hadiths to believe in is rooted in Isnad, right? Who do you take your hadiths from? As a Shia, you reject Aisha.
I don't reject Aisha.
No, you reject.
No, we don't reject her.
No, you reject hadiths from her.
No, not really.
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
Right.
Me personally, I don't.
Well, I'm just informing you that I know a little bit more about Shiism than you do.
Probably do.
On this,
Yeah.
at least on this.
Yeah, on
Maybe
this,
not on the whole.
Yeah.
But the point I'm making to you is that since Muslims can't agree about which isnads are reliable, it throws the whole exercise into disrepute, right?
Yeah.
Now, I am not as familiar with Shia Hadith as I am about Sunni Hadith, right? Because obviously I talk to Sunnis more often than not. But I am sure that if I started familiarizing myself with Hadith, I would find forgeries amongst those Hadiths. Contradictions amongst those Hadiths.
Me personally, I don't trust Hadiths.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's just me personally. No disrespect to anyone that listens to them and that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just me personally, I don't even listen to the Quran.
Okay.
I don't trust Hadiths because Hadiths can be forged.
Yep.
Yeah. Same with like certain books can be forged. Yeah. Or respecting it. Yeah. That's why seeing the difference between Islam and Christianity. The books, you know, have different. I'm not changing topics. Yeah, just there. I'm not changing.
Oh, we're staying on topic. Don't worry.
Yeah. Christianity has several books.
Yep.
Several Bibles. Islam only has one.
Yeah.
Which only means one thing. We pay attention to one book. Christianity, I'm pretty sure the Bible has been changed more than once.
Right. Let me reply to that, Ahmed. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, firstly, I want to say, well done you for being smart enough not to trust hadiths.
Yeah.
But that's the point I'm making. So you're essentially agreeing with me. You're saying you yourself. I'm saying I'm giving reasons why hadiths can't be trusted, right? And you're saying, sister, come and stand this side of me.
No, can I be honest with you?
Yeah, but please don't shout.
Don't.
I want.
Can I be honest? Can I just sister? Yeah.
Right.
You can't like people like that. Yeah, I don't respect.
I don't respect the Muslims when they do it to Christians.
No,
either.
I just stopped a bunch of kids from dashing water at the
Yeah, well done you.
I told them.
Well done you.
That's not how you make Islam look good.
Exactly. Right.
I try.
Okay, so well done you, Ahmed. Well done you. Right. But my point is, you're now agreeing with my point. Hadiths can't be trusted. So since we agree about that, let's now move on to Bible and Quran.
Yeah.
Right. Now you've made a point. You said that there are several books.
Yeah.
Right? Well, every book of the Bible is a book. So you've understated your case. Right, well, there's, depending on which canon you use, there's either 66, 72 or 78, 81 books of the Bible. Right?
That's a lot, isn't it?
So it's not actually as many as you think. All Christians agree on at least 66. Right? But that means that but I also want to say something else, which is that you're not aware of the fact that there are different Qurans. You heard me right. I said different Qurans. Talking about the Qur'an. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to recommend to you a book that was written by a Muslim, not by a Christian. It's called, it's Fadl Soliman's Quran of the Qira'at. Right?
Yeah.
Okay? You can look it up, you can buy it for yourself. And what it does is it notes down the textual variants between the different Qira'at traditions. The Hafs, the Warsh, the Duri. Now on most of those textual variants, it's not a big problem. It's the difference between tree or trees. Has a very minor impact, negligible impact. But there are some variants actually that have a very significant localized impact. So this would be, for example, changing who does the action, Allah or one of his subjects, or changing the result of an action. Is someone fighting or does someone die? Right? And these are real changes that impact the very localized meaning of the passage that you're reading. They don't change the overall message of the Quran. The overall message of the Quran, no matter which version of the Quran you read, is still that Muhammad is the Prophet of Allah, still that there's one God, still that this is the Quran that's sent down from Allah, still that the Christians and Jews have lied about their book. Those messages stay the same. But these localized differences change the minor reading of particular passages, which mean that you don't have a single book.
Huh?
Right.
Wait, that confused me.
Yeah, let me explain it again. Right, say you write a book for me.
Yeah.
Right? And what I do is I change the book that you write, in which I change the characters that do something, and rather than character A doing something, I say character B did something, and I flip them around, right? And rather than saying somebody died, I said somebody fought, right? Because as you know, not everybody who fights dies, not everybody who dies fights. Yeah? Would you say to me that I've changed your book?
Yeah.
Right. That is exactly what you see in the Qur'an. And it's not me that's brought attention to this. Fadl Solomon's Quran, the 10 readings of the Qur'an, he's the one that highlighted all of this. He's a Muslim scholar from Egypt.
I didn't even know the Quran was, there's different versions of the Quran. I think there's only one.
No, there's not.
No. But like, that doesn't make sense though. Quran cannot be changed.
But that's
you know how many people have it memorized?
Right. But the thing is, right, Ahmed, this is the point. You only believe that the Quran can't be changed because that's what you've been told being a kid. We've not been told that, have we, as Christians? So we just looked at the Quran to see if it's been changed, and we found evidence that it has, because we never start from the assumption that it hasn't been changed. You only think that it can't be changed because you've been told that since you were a little hopper crawling around on the floor.
You're telling me if I buy a Quran, from 3 different people, it's all going to be different.
If you buy a Hafs Quran, a Wash Quran, and a Duri Quran, they are going to be different.
They can't be Quran. Wait, hold on, what?
I'm telling you, bro, Ahmed, I'm not lying to you, This is what academics are saying, not just Christian academics, Muslim academics.
I'm not the best person to speak about this, because I'm learning about my religion as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that you're a Shia, right?
Yeah.
And so as a Shia, both of us think that the Sunnis are a bit...
No,
let me finish.
Yeah,
let me finish. Do you know who Muhammad Hijab is?
Yeah.
Right. Do you know who Yasser Qadi is? No. Right. Yasser Qadi is a top Muslim Sunni scholar, right? Muhammad Hijab did a live stream with Yasser Qadi, and he asked him this question: if I gave to you a blank mushaf, what would you write in the blank mushaf? Yasser Qadi did not reply, oh, I would write down simply the Quran. He didn't say that. Do you know what he said? He said, Haki. It's not that simple. It's not that simple, Haki. Right? Now, Muhammad Hijab and Yasser Qadi both deleted this video, but not until Christians had made copies of it. Right? So this moment is Yasser Qadi admitting on camera that he is aware of the fact that there are textual variants between different Qurans. And so to simply say, let me give you a blank mushaf, what will you write in it, is not simple, because the first question you've got to answer is which qiraat will you write in it? I'm telling you, bro, I'm teaching you your deen here. Right?
I'm not old school. I'm still learning about my own religion.
Yeah.
I'm not the best Muslim. I'm not the worst.
But my point to you is, if you're saying to us as Christians,
I don't know what to reply with.
So let me continue. If you're saying to me as a Christian, we can't trust the Bible because you got different Bibles.
I'm sure you can't trust.
Right. Good. Because we really can trust the Bible.
With that, what Islam taught me.
Yeah.
Respect people's beliefs. Let them do their thing. Yeah. If they want to learn about Islam, they can learn about Islam. If they want to become Muslim, they can become Muslim.
Yeah.
But disrespect anyone's religion.
Bro, it's getting. We're about to get ready.
Yeah,
Let me give you a quick gift Let me give you a quick. Can I have up? Just as a sign that I really appreciated the good spirit in which you engaged in the conversation. Thank you. Have you got a Bible, bro?
Yeah, I do. I read the Bible.
Right. Well, let me give you. If you've got a Bible, let me give you that as a gift. Just talks about some good Christians who've done good things in the past.
I actually read this.
Yeah. All right. Look after yourself. Really nice to speak to you, Ahmed. Take care. Right. Grab your microphones, guys.
What happened there? What happened there? Wrap it up.
You want an umbrella?
Yeah, I'd like an umbrella.
Oh no! What happened there, Bob?
Right. So basically, guys,
Yeah.
the typical Muslim heckler thought that he could come in and heckle me without being challenged.
Hey.
When I challenged him, as always, he ran away. When I challenged the entire Muslim community in the park to defend their hadiths, they were completely powerless and unable to defend their hadiths from challenge. And this Shia Muslim knows better than most Muslims because he himself rejects hadith, showing that I'm not alone in rejecting hadith, even Muslims do it. And right now, ladies and gentlemen, because of the rain, I'm going to go indoors. If you're a Christian and you want to join me for a coffee, you're more than welcome to join me. I'll be going to the usual place. Just come with me and follow me now.
Okay, Bob,
Right.
let me get the mic.
Grab your
Bob.
microphones.
Let me get that mic, Bob. See la. Mikey Taylor.
Are you wanting to come for a coffee? Come.
Yeah, go. What we gonna say here, brother?